Welcome to Black Man Spy, the U.S. Iran deal, no deal cast. Who's to know? It's only Wednesday. Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
You need to
Thursday.
bring
Wow.
Howard Mandel for that.
It's Thursday.
Okay, well, it is day 25 of the most recent cycle of conflict, and we are on day 159 of the U.S. and Israeli initiated war, which started on February 28th, 2026. Let's just get it straight. Who started this war? Because I keep seeing a lot of people out in the chats, and not our chats, because everyone who watches this show is highly informed, right? But I go out on YouTube channel and I do other YouTubes. I was on Times Radio yesterday. I was on Mario Noir Files the other day. And you get these, and that guy has 3 million followers. And you get these people like, they attacked us. It's like, what? What? They were having literally lunch when we wiped out the entire senior leadership of that country. So, be fair. If we did it, we did it, right? Good morning, Jacob Carswell, Danish intelligence officer extraordinaire, who has to leave 10 minutes early today. How are you?
Yep. I'm very good. I actually saw one of our viewers is from Mamaroneck, New York.
Oh,
I used to live in Larchmont, so next door neighbors.
Yeah, isn't that on Long Island?
No. Long Island Sound, the opposite side of the sound.
Yeah, I got
Upstate, just before the Connecticut border.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're in that little.
I'm sorry, I'm not convinced. I never heard you say I'm walking here.
I'm fucking walking. Yeah, you didn't live there very long. That's for sure. All right, Westchester. Somebody says it's in Westchester. Thank you.
It is.
Hello, Albuquerque. So good morning, Jacob. I've got good morning, Jacob. Hello to you. And good morning, Wajid, the gay lion, hailing from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Saudi geopolitical analyst, Saudi expert, Gulf states expert, who is giving us as we give the two spies version, he gives us the civilian reality version. From the American Midwest, who'da thunk, right? Where are you still a student? Did you start classes yet? Did you bring an apple and your books to school?
I'm excited. Actually, orientation is by the end of August, so I'll be gone for almost a week. Because you have to do orientation, and the orientation takes all day for a week. So I'll be busy. I'll let you know exactly when I will be busy, but it will be just that 1 week, and then I'll be able to come back.
You should be live streaming that. I'm gonna, well, we'll go back to school later on after this. So, what was it I wanted to talk about? Is something going on in the world?
Someone says every time I see Wajih, I crave falafel.
And that is the appropriate response. It's watch it. You are now one big walking falafel to these people. Hey, that's from Florida. All right, Wajid, could you please check the oil for us?
Yeah, you got it.
Everybody go get a cup of coffee.
There's a sweet deal on the way, so the oil is dropping.
I have to make up another
deal that everyone always wanted.
Believe it or not,
2 double espressos so far.
Oil prices have gone up just $1 since yesterday.
Gone up?
What?
Just $1.
Just $1? Jesus, they're going up by 10 cents. I mean, weird. Michael Grobel, naughty on you. Navy Chiefs do not wash their coffee cups. Gosh, one of those junior enlisted guys. That's not true. I wash that cup every day. All right, but what are we at? West Texas is at what?
76, 28. Brent crude is at 80, 81.
All of
Marvan is at 78, 24. And then OPEC is sitting at 80, 42.
All of which is still much higher than or much lower than it should be, and higher than it was a week ago. It just goes up and down. Julie West, I am not going to wreck my heart with coffee. Just FYI. I need the energy to put up with the enormous flying piles of bullshit that I get from the White House. So I need to be like triple caffeinated to outrun the BS that we are going to discuss today. And with that, let's get on to the discussion point of the morning, which is the deal. Deal or no deal? Anybody got anything to say about it?
The deal will be that wonderful Iranian-Omani deal that the Iranians will dictate at the end of the day to the Omanis, because they're just saying no to everything where they don't have the control over either entry or exit.
Yes.
And now it seems that the traffic separation scheme will be both ways will be controlled by the Iranians.
It goes
as far as I can tell.
Well, let me tell you what the Iranian Foreign Ministry put out less than an hour ago.
Exactly.
All right. Their version of the deal that was supposedly agreed to by the Omanis and the Iranians. And they're making it clear that nobody else is involved in this negotiation. Although Trump, his administration, and the International Maritime Union are claiming that they also will be announcing the results of this. So that's interesting. So 4 organizations, 2 were negotiating, and 2 others want to take credit for it. Interesting. So, according to the Iranian scheme, Iran will close its northernmost traffic separation scheme, and the Omanis will close their southernmost traffic separation scheme, also known as the U.S. Navy traffic separation scheme. They inbound and outbound lanes will enter Iranian waters, which means that when you get through the narrowest gap in the Strait of Hormuz, you're going to go north around the old original traffic separation scheme because it may be full of mines. Who's to know? We'll have to find out.
Up here.
Yep. These lanes will be temporary for 2 to 4 months, and they will be in Iranian waters. So don't be on your best behavior. Don't fuck up, right? Because the IRGC be watching.
Things could happen. Things could happen.
You could run aground, or you could accidentally bump into a missile at night.
Exactly. They usually hit windows or something.
Yeah. Somebody says the old traffic separation scheme, Christina Nam, is the 2 lanes that went down the center. Actually, I have the ability to show you my computer today, so I will bring up the images of the old TSS, the Iranian traffic separation scheme.
Live image
Regional traffic separation
deal or
scheme.
no live images of Trump deal or no deal.
That's freaking stupid. Who is that? Is that Jeff Bezos? That's what that looks like. Jeff Bezos is the host of Deal or No Deal. Yeah, well, deal or no deal, this is going to happen. However, one thing that I would like to note, and I'll get back to the details of the deal, technically takes us back to day 1 of the MOU. And not day 60 of the MOU like it was supposed to be. Day 1 of the MOU, where fighting stops and things get good for 60 days. And I don't know how I do know how we fell into this. Trump is a moron, and he needs this to happen, but he's playing like he doesn't need it to happen. This is just something that I'm allowing to go ahead. When in fact, he's pretty damn desperate. And somebody read to me a quote yesterday from Art of the Deal, where Trump said in Art of the Deal, a book he never wrote, a book he just spoke his mind, a few euphemisms, and another writer wrote down and actually organized everything and then filled it out with his own writing. Trump said, never let them know you're desperate because when they do, you're finished. They'll win everything. Really, Donald? Somebody should read that book out loud to you.
Yeah.
So that certainly didn't happen here. Okay, give me 1 second, and I'm trying to find that map of the original traffic separation scheme. And while I'm doing that, map, there we are. I have maps of everything. I have Tripoli, Libya in World War II, and the landing. Here we are, the landing beaches at Normandy. So, that does not hold on. I have the original one, but I don't have the one with the U.S. one. Okay, let's go to this. This is a navigation chart. This is the first one the Iranians put out. I like the way that they put out the nav chart, right? They were like, in case some of you who are on ships don't figure out where this place is, this big red circle is where the mines are. This is the old original traffic separation scheme started here, went this way and down. That was the inbound lane. This was the outbound lane. And as you can see, it says here in Arabic and Farsi, danger area. Okay. Mahduda.
Hasadus.
Mahduda khatar. Khatar. Danger, too much khatar there. So we're going to sweep that after 6 months, and we're going to find out there was like one sea mine in there, right? The Iranians are like, well, we didn't say how many mines we put there. You found the other one when it came ashore. When it came ashore in Oman. So now the Iranians are saying they are going to change this scheme. They're going to get rid of the Hormuz Island lane, the one that goes between Larak Island and Hormuz Island, which is up there. And around here, we were calling this the multi-pass toll booth. And now it's going to be in and out along this line. Maybe a little bit further back down here, but no Omani, no original TSS. That is what is being reported by the Iranian Foreign Ministry today. Then this will go on for 2 to 4 months. Then there will be phase 2. And during phase 2, they will start negotiating the fees. Apparently, this phase is the let the traffic flow, let you get a taste of all that sweet, sweet Persian Gulf water that you used to know and love. Everybody can go on Liberty in Dubai. Ships will be going back and forth, left and right. The French and the British will come and demine the center of the Strait of Hormuz. No U.S. warships allowed. And then at the end of that phase, they will start implementing the fees. Right now, the Iranians had asked, I just want to recall to you, the Iranians originally asked for a $2 million fee, right?
That's
and
right.
toll for every ship going in and out. Then, a month into the war, somebody named Donald Trump said, hey, this is a good idea. He literally said this, that it was a good idea and that he should get a cut of that money because of all the efforts the U.S. Navy's making.
He actually said a joint venture.
A joint venture between Iran and the United States. That motherfucker, first thing that goes into his head is Tony Soprano. I want a cut. I want a sweet taste of whatever you're making there, right? Then, so somebody's from Chicagoland. Then he goes, I, as president of the United States, since I'm spending so much money doing a blockade, which is as I like to put it, a close sign I placed over the close sign. And I'm going to charge 20% of all cargoes that go out of the Strait of Hormuz. So up until this point, the Iranians had asked for a straight number. 2 million. Which, if you're talking about a super tanker that's worth 100 million and you got a $400 million cargo, that's $500 million. $2 million is 1%, right? I believe that's 1% or 0.5%, something like that. Yeah, 1%. Trump's $20 million would have had you paying $40 million in fees going out of there. And $10 million in fees going out of there. Now the Iranians are like, hey, you know what? We like this percentage-based fee thing. And now the Iranians, during this negotiations we're starting with, we want 7% of the value of all declared cargoes going out of the Strait of Hormuz, coming in and going out of the Strait of Hormuz. So if you're delivering goods to the U.S. Army in Port al Shuaibah, we are going to charge you 7%. If you are leaving with oil, we are going to charge you 7%. And it's a management fee, guys. Just like in the Straits of Malacca, the Bosphorus, all of them. You still have freedom of navigation.
You get service. Man.
Name some of them services.
Yeah, it's safety. Safety, environmental protection, everything.
You get missile collision insurance. You get sea mine mitigation sea mine mitigation fee, right?
Anti-drone on your bridge fee.
Free glass replacement.
Wiper windshield real quick.
Yeah, IRGC guys will come out with squeegees.
Yeah.
And they will help you clean your windshield with guns. Well, because you never know, the Kraken could come out and they got to protect you from all of that. And even worse, some of you dirty mariners are dumping poop water into the Strait of Hormuz, and the IRGC is going to make sure that the seabirds and the protected species in Kasab and on the Musandam Peninsula and Narak Island, that they don't get any of your naughty pollutants on there. So that's a fee, right? I mean, you got to pay God. Don't make any jokes. I want a sip of coffee.
No, did you talk about the problem that could come after ships staying in the Strait of Hormuz for a while? The thing is after a ship stays in the water not moving and the repellers not moving, you end up having clams getting attached to the bottom.
They're actually called barnacles, and they're crustaceans. But it takes time to get a barnacle, right? You got to really be hanging out to get a barnacle, but they get on there. Well, you know what? You could be bringing dirty, naughty barnacles from Asia, or your imperialist barnacles from the United States, and they could be infecting the crustacean fields of the pure, pristine Islamic states of the Persian Gulf. So cross-contamination, right? Somebody just said that. Not mussels. Barnacles. There you go. So anyway, these are fees, y'all. This is what they need. Khalas. Invasive clam protection fees. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
He put it well. Or invasive American protection fees.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Anyway, certainly.
If I were the Iranians,
they can invade, you know.
Okay. So according to phase 2, the Strait of Hormuz will fully open, according to the Iranians, when there is no U.S. Navy blockade. Nukta wahid, number 1. There are no sanctions on the Iranian energy sector, which is another way of saying oil and natural gas worldwide. And all Iranian assets will be unfrozen.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound reasonable? You know what that is?
This time they want it up front.
They want it up front. They want the MOU. They want the MOU implemented essentially, all of the provisions of the MOU essentially now. And guess what? My favorite part of this, I know I always say, this is my favorite part. This is really my favorite part. all of this is strictly about getting in and out of the Strait of Hormuz. It has nothing to do with anything else. Nothing to do with anything else. This is strictly about the Strait of Hormuz. I recall there was a discussion about nuclear programs and
What?
terrorism and
What?
proxies and shit like that.
And missiles.
Nope.
And missiles. Missiles.
This is exactly what happens when you overplay your hand and you underestimate your enemy. And then you find yourself in the middle of a situation where you're out of missiles, out of defense, out of money, out of allies, and stuck in a war that you can't figure out how to end, but you still cannot end the war, but you are trying to figure out, scramble anything that you could do just to let the ships pass, because without the ships passing, even the war that you have, you can't keep.
Mm. And you know, a quick way of putting it, Waji, is hubris sucks.
It sounds rather logical to me. Somebody, okay, acronym of the day has been one. I don't know who wrote it. Come back and take credit
That's
for
for the
it.
T-shirt, Malcolm. Hubris sucks.
Yes, hubris. Hubris. I'm writing it down. Okay. SUX. So, somebody, acronym of the day was MOU equals FYOU. MOU equals fuck you of understanding. I love the chat. The chat down there is way too funny. Thank you. These are our subscribers. The only ways you can be on the chat is if you're a paid subscriber. And these people are hilarious. It's so funny. I already wrote that shit down. Uber sucks and MOU equals FYOU.
I have some breaking news as of 5 minutes ago. At least 30 people have been killed and others wounded in a suspected rocket and drone attack that targeted camps in Ma'rib and the local media report.
Marib. In Yemen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, wait. Is this in Yemen?
Because
Marib is let's hold on to that. We're going to go over Yemen. Marib is the regional capital of Al Jauf province, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to bring that up on
east of Sana'a. I've got it here, Malcolm.
Okay, good.
Just east of Sana'a.
The thing is, this could be in direct response to a news that broke 47 minutes ago, where the Yemeni Saudi-backed forces shot down a Houthi drone over Ma'rib as well.
Yeah,
I see.
So,
yeah.
And now it's saying that there's a new attack on Ma'rib that has killed 30 people.
Yeah, that's actually Ma'rib governor. I'm thinking of Al Jauf. There's another town there. So
Jauf is up here.
And that's up there to the north, and it begins with
Marib is here.
Well, what next? Saudi Arabia is cutting a deal in the Strait of Hormuz, and they're stepping up their operations in Yemen. And to tell you the truth, I may have to go to Yemen to do some reporting on this if things get calm and fruity down in the Persian Gulf. I haven't been to Yemen in, how old am I? I haven't been to Yemen in maybe 30 years. So it might be tough. But here's the kicker about Yemen. You go there, and you step off the plane, you go into downtown, and you're like, nothing's changed. Nothing. Mobile phones. That's the only
Nothing
thing that's
has changed since 3,000 years ago.
You go, that same fucking camel is on that corner. And it's like same guy selling dates and honey down there. You're like, that is one of those. What's this? And got. Got to pronounce that shit right. Got. Got to use the Arabic cuff. That is a mildly narcotic plant, which is chewed like chewing tobacco. God, you're pronouncing it with a Gulf State G to Q, Q to G. Stop that dialectical bullshit. In many dialects, the letter Q in Arabic changes to the letter G. That's why you hear people say, and I say Qatar, which is the actual Arabic, TV Arabic, and they say Qatar, right? And if it's Lebanese dialect, it would be Qatar. So there you go. There we have it. So Yemen is blooming while we wait. Today, allegedly, the United States, Iran, Oman, and the Union of Maritime Organization, International Maritime Union, will be announcing that there is a deal. And this deal will, guess what, y'all? Allow the 300 or more merchant ships in the Strait of Hormuz to leave the Strait of Hormuz and go back, because I know what that pressure is. It's not about the International Maritime Union. It's not about the mariners who were on that ship. Those guys are getting paid. Just ship owners have to pay 5 months of salaries, right? And they haven't moved a damn thing. So, and not to mention all the maintenance that has to be done on those ships now. Now you have to swap crews, because the first crew that's on that ship right now, they made money. They made bank, and a lot of these Filipino and Indian sailors will take their $10,000 combined salaries and they will go home forever, or at least until a year or so. I know a lot of sailors out there, especially Filipinos. I know loads of Filipino sailors out there, and they run the maritime industry. Boom. Filipinos and Indians, captain, ship's masters, and crew. And they're all nice. They're all very, very nice people, unless you pen them up in the Persian Gulf for 5 months. So that is what, by the way, Trump will be announcing that he did the largest maritime humanitarian effort in the entire history of the world since the Battle of Thermopylae. Or Salamis. He will say, I freed up those sailors. Remember early on, Project Freedom? That was supposed to be poor sailor liberation campaign.
You will have something called the Trump victory ribbon or something for the soldiers.
6 ribbons are coming out of this war, because he's going to force the Saudis, the Emiratis, and the Qataris, and the Kuwaitis, maybe, to each create a ribbon. Now, in Desert Storm, that happens. Kuwait Liberation Ribbon from Kuwait, the Gulf States Liberation Ribbon from Defense of Saudi Arabia ribbon, and then the Desert Storm ribbon. 3 ribbons out of Desert Storm. Trump, no, too small. This is the greatest military. He said this, the largest military campaign since World War II. Forgot about Vietnam. They used to call the Korean War the Forgotten War. Well, he forgot the fuck out of this one. That's for sure. This is ridiculous. The first Operation Desert Shield, which was the defensive operation before Desert Storm, was like 5 times bigger than this. Dave Demand's Prince, Dave Demand's has his 3 ribbons, right? Well, I got mine. He got his, I also got 2 sea service ribbons. I spent so much time on ships out there. So that is what we are all waiting for, probably by the end of this show. Waji, you should keep an eye on it, right? And then there's probably going to be the Trump victory ribbon.
That's what exactly I said.
Then somebody put it down there. The Trump victory ribbon will be the victory against his enemies. And every time there's a war that he ended, you'll get a star on that ribbon. And so since he's ended 8 wars, you're going to get, what is that? That would be each silver star on the ribbon. Tiny silver star constitutes 2 wars. So you'll get 3 silver stars with a bronze star or an oak leaf cluster for the Trump victory ribbon, because that ribbon needs to have more shit on it. And he'll surround it in gold so that it's a presidential unit commendation at the same time. See, because that's how he rolls. He rolls what with the gold. Y'all sitting there laughing at this shit? Mark my words. Have I ever been wrong about anything? Actually, I have been one or two things, and mainly because they were things that didn't occur within a timeline, but they eventually occurred. Somebody says there should be a Trump taco ribbon, and trust me, that's what the victory ribbon is. Okay. Other news. Now that we have attacks going on in Yemen, in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, the Iranians attacked another ship. just FYI, in case no one has figured out that you should not use that Southern Traffic Separation Scheme. That is the third ribbon. That is the third ship that has been attacked in the last 48 hours in the Southern Traffic Separation Scheme. Okay, Waja, anybody, Jacob, for you. Somebody asked what's going on in Lebanon. I know the Israelis are still carrying out some attacks. Anybody got any dirt on that?
So Israel airstrike hit Al-Mansouri in southern Lebanon. 2 Israeli airstrikes have hit the town of Al-Mansouri in the Tyre district in the last 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that brings me to my Israel section. Yesterday, Benjamin Netanyahu, when asked about the deal, the MOU, the Strait of Hormuz, blah, 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 somebody says gold stars are 1 award, silver are 5. That's for the Navy. You're right. But Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday said, Khalas, deal? What do you mean deal? There are no deals between Israel and anybody. And what he said was what I have been telling you guys since the beginning of this show. The first time I had an encounter with the Israelis was when I was on a warship off of southern Lebanon. I'm sorry, not off southern Lebanon. We were south of Beirut. And Israeli aircraft were being attacked by surface-to-air missiles. And this Israeli C-130 saw our ship there, and instead of just going straight in and doing a fast landing, apparently they had changed their tactics. So the aircraft would come out to the west of us, drop down very low, and go behind us, then cut in and land. So that if somebody fired a surface-to-air missile, it would hit that big, hot metal target out in the ocean. And then and another thing they would do, they started shooting flares over us as it went by us, which means they didn't give a fuck if a missile hit our ship. In fact, they were hoping the missile would hit our ship and not them. And that is when I learned the phrase, Israel looks out for number one and number one only. That if it's about them, if they're going to take a casualty, no, you're going to take that casualty. So Benjamin Netanyahu came out and said that directly yesterday. Quote, agreement or not, we, Israel, are determined to do whatever is necessary to ensure our own security and future. Yep. Fuck you, Donald Trump. That's the only thing he didn't say, which was, oh, there's a Lebanon component of this? Israel attacked Lebanon yesterday. There is a component where we are not supposed to harass the Houthis. They'll attack wherever they want. So the Israelis have essentially declared themselves not giving a damn about this agreement. And to tell you the truth, as a sovereign nation, that is acceptable. They are their own entity. But Donald Trump started playing around with the politics of Netanyahu, talked about getting rid of him, said, I am the one who calls the shots. Now he's pushed Netanyahu into a we are about us, F you attitude. And that's why we are getting attacks in Lebanon, because they just don't care what happens with us anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if you see them go back to full-scale combat down there. Comments?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. That's the likely option. At least we can say what's in the MOU about Lebanon is not going to be implemented, and the Iranians are likely to act accordingly? And then when will we see a resumption of war also by Trump? Let's see.
Mhm. Hey, quick clarification about the Yemen attacks. I just found the report. The Yemeni Houthis, the Houthis attacked Yemeni army positions and Saudi army positions in Marib. The 45 people that were killed were government fighters and soldiers. So the Houthis drew them as some blood today, killing 45 government soldiers. They hit two separate camps, three camps. The Al Hamad Hadrami Emergency Forces Base in Ruwayk took a hit from, they didn't waste any time, ballistic missiles followed by drones. Ouch. And then they hit two other camps, 45 dead Yemeni government forces with dozens wounded, sources confirming significant casualties. There's all sorts of video out there of ballistic missiles flying and hitting these bases. So, Yemen, that's the Houthis are on the attack. I, for first blush, thought it was the Saudis on the attack. And the Houthis are like, hey, remember that land war we kicked your ass in? Yeah, we can do that again.
Yeah.
And they're not wasting their ballistic missiles on targets that move like ships. They're hitting camps full of men who were probably gathering up to do an attack on the Houthis. All right, sorry about that.
But it was the Yemeni government forces, or whatever we can call them, and the Saudis that brought down a Houthi drone this morning, and that is probably retaliation for the drone incident.
Yep. So, please.
Yep. I did say it was Al Houthi. I'm not surprised this is going to continue escalating. The Saudis has opened the gate of hell for absolutely no reason. The United States is now going to come into step to help the Saudi government. The Saudis are now going to have help from the United Arab Emirates. They're not going to get any help from the rest of the Gulf states. And this is going to be way more detrimental on the Saudi economy than we like to admit at the moment.
Mm-hmm. It will be. Also, this morning, the Houthis made a statement about their attack on the merchant ship, the oil tanker Wafa, that was in Yanbu Harbor yesterday. They said, this is going to be part of a continuing effort to punish the Saudis and blockade the Red Sea from allowing Saudi oil out. Well, Houthi, you know what? It's almost like the Persian Gulf, the Strait of Hormuz may actually get a deal. And the Houthis are like, oh, we can do this too. let's try it. But the Saudis sort of started a little bit of this. What with their attacks in no, we didn't need this bag of freaking worms. Okay, apart from that, there has not been a lot in the Middle East, Jacob. I know you have to go, but there's one thing I do want your point of view on. Russia apparently carried out two asymmetric attacks on aircraft in Germany, in Leipzig airport. A Ukrainian AN-124 super heavy lift cargo aircraft had a Russian FPV-style drone, flew against it, and it apparently crashed, didn't detonate. And then another one was a DHL aircraft had a drone strike while taking off, and it didn't explode. So you got what do you say about that, Mel?
No, I mean, we've seen hybrid attacks in Leipzig airport before. A year and a half ago, a DHL plane on its way to Birmingham in the UK
had the fire.
Caught fire due to an incendiary bomb. But the thing was, the only reason why that didn't go off midair was because this DHL plane was late. It had a delay of schedule, so it set ablaze on the ground, and now this. So we've seen it before, and allegedly, from what I've seen, the Ukrainian plane was full of weapons for Ukraine. But it seems like the Russians are able to launch these attacks in this area.
Well,
That's
Leipzig used to be part of East Germany.
exactly.
And that part of
Exactly.
Germany, Eastern Germany, Magdeburg, Dresden, all of those places in the east, they are AfD, all right? Alternative for Deutschland, hardcore pro-Russian part of the white supremacist, anti-liberal Germany. And the Russians have assets down there.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's just it's terrible, but it's not even surprising,
Not even surprising.
unfortunately.
Okay, Jacob, I know you have a TV hit to do. You only have 15 minutes, so thanks for coming today. Get your ass on out of here.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, 1 second before you go.
What's up?
I have here, I'm going to mail these out to you today. This is the Greenland already
Already
hat,
great. Yeah.
right? And then there is, you want this one,
Yes.
right? Nu det nok. What does that mean in Danish?
Enough is enough, but the last bit of Nuuk is, of course, the Greenlandic capital. So
yeah, that's how they spell it.
Yeah, that's how they spell it. But it means enough is enough.
Yep. The funny thing is,
but I have a Greenland show tonight at
8 o'clock.
Afternoon Eastern time. It's 2 p.m. Yeah,
2 p.m.
Central European, and I'll go over what we've seen, and a lot of it focuses on these. Economic subversive influence that we've seen over the last few months, and some of the things that are taking place on the eastern seaboard of Greenland, where I believe you haven't been, and I certainly haven't been, and there are hardly any people living there.
Wait a minute, are you talking about there's like one town on the eastern seaboard?
It's not Talisislit. No, well, it's not Kapisislit. It's Talit, but it's Itoktumit, which is only 320 people. There's stuff going on there.
What's going on up there?
Well, the Americans want to drill for oil, preferably without permission.
Okay.
Preferably without permission.
First off, you can't even get up there without everyone in the country seeing you because the airport's this big. You have to rent aircraft from Air Greenland. It has to be
it's up here.
One guy gets off a plane with a surveying kit. They're going to need it. And by the way, anything north of Tasiilaq, that's the name of the town you're thinking of.
Tasiilaq is down here. And
anything north of that place, you better have a rifle.
Yes, exactly.
Or bring hunters.
Is 2,000 people. That's the major settlement on the east coast.
It's
and
tiny.
Up to Iktotumit, which is 320 people, that's 800 kilometers. And between that, there's only ice and mountains.
What's up there?
Mountains, almost 3,700 meters.
I know. Man, if this war wasn't going on, we'd be up there mountain climbing and muskox hunting and all that crazy shit. Greenland's amazing.
In Tasiilaq.
Yeah. Well, for those of you, thanks, Jacob, for coming. We'll see you later. Go enjoy doing your TV programs, and we'll get back to you. And everybody will join you this afternoon on Greenland. And for those of you who are still here, I have other hats, and we're going to be auctioning these off. We're going to be raising money for several charitable things that I'm involved with. By the way, I will be putting up on the Substack chat We didn't do another chat today because I have reams of things going on. I was talking to my battalion in the International Legion Battalion now is not in Kharkiv province anymore. They are on the 0 line somewhere is south of Kharkiv, and our brigade that we're now attached to is in contact with the enemy. We lost a vehicle. I know the brigade has lost 14 men in the last week in combat. So for those of you who think, oh, it's just drones going back and forth, no, there is active,
Is the donation link for the cars still up?
It is, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put it back up. Carsforukraine.com is where it is. And the summer campaign, I think we're just like a couple of $1,000 shy of a second vehicle. The first vehicle was actually given to the 560th Battalion, and the second vehicle comes to ours. What they do, it's a pool of money. But cars in Ukraine are consumables. Okay. My personal vehicle, actually, let me see if I can find a photograph of it. It was the longest operating vehicle in my battalion. And then I bought it from Poland. It was a round the world vehicle. And it just got blasted. It took 4 years for them to get it, but they finally got it. They finally got War Daddy. And that was its name. It was named after my call sign. And it took forever to get that truck. And my friends there were all like, hey, man, your truck is still going. Everybody loves your truck. Yeah, well, we got to replace it now. So that's what Cars for Ukraine is doing. They're doing a great job. They bring in thousands of cars. And as Jacob Karsbo said, they had his Danish version of Cars for Ukraine. You see these convoys of like 200 cars leaving Copenhagen and driving to Ukraine. So it's just the nature of the game. These vehicles wear out very fast, and they get hit. They get blasted, and we have to help sustain that fight. That's one thing. And as you know, I closed my campaign for Greenland because we made too much money. It actually funded 3 trips. One campaign of 2 days funded 3 trips to Greenland. But we still have, we bought all these stuffed animals we're giving to a children's hospital from Greenland. So I'm going to be putting that up on my website. There's going to be a lot of changes. And then there are other campaigns we're doing in Egypt. You guys know that I go to Egypt every year. And I'm going to Egypt this year, maybe twice. Right now, I'm going in November. But we are funding a museum to be built in Western Egypt related to World War II, special operations, intelligence operations against the Germans. But some of the unknown people in Egypt, which were, for example, everybody knows the SAS and the Long Range Desert Patrol, right? LRDG, Long Range Desert Group. But there was a Sudanese, all-black Long Range Desert Group. There was an Egyptian commando group that operated in the north. And Ethiopians guarded all of their facilities in Western. It's crazy. None of them got any historical information. The Special Operations Executive ran black spies and Egyptian and Libyan spies all over the place, and nobody even knows their name. So if you're watching TV shows like Rogue Heroes, this is, by the way, that show shows them in Jalu, Libya. That's not where they were headquartered. They were headquartered in Siwa, Egypt. And Siwa, Egypt is a crazy place. It's like somebody built a Berber city from Morocco in Egypt. And it turns out it was Berbers that walked all the way across the Sahara and set up shop in Western Egypt. It's nuts. And it's a giant mud city that is now a UNESCO heritage site. That's SIWA. You go look it up. Siwa Fortress. You just won't believe what you see. It's all mud buildings there. We're going to be building a museum, or we proposed this a couple of years ago, building a museum there in Siwa, which now, by the way, eco tourist travel spot. Wadji, you got to come with me, man. You got to come with me in November. I know the Egyptians will let you in. Don't worry. So, somebody says they rode horses from Giza to Saqqara. Oh, that's a cool trip. That's way on the Nile, though. That's out east. That's civilization. We go out to Western Egypt. It ain't jack
I
shit out
can't
there
wait
until
to
you
get
get there.
citizenship so I could start traveling again. But
I
yeah,
keep forgetting. I forget. You can't move. Got to stay in the USA. Don't worry. These trips come around. But yeah, there's a eco
that's why you got to
tourist.
become a paid member so I can pay my lawyer to become a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, you hear that, man? He's pay that lawyer, baby. $7. I'm a paid subscriber to watch it. I'm going to join your super duper troop. All right? Because you need it. All right. Well, we have answered most questions that we saw down on the chat. I will be establishing a chat so that I can get back in and answer your questions. I will bring the Car for Ukraine thing back up. If you guys can throw $5, $10 in it, that's fine. We have funded almost $20,000 worth of cars. I am nowhere near close to that god named Jake Bro. Okay, Jake Bro has never left the United States, I don't think. I don't even think he's been to Ukraine. That guy deserves a medal from President Zelensky. He's raised millions of dollars for Ukraine. Millions. And I just gave my book royalties and all of my salary when I was in the Ukrainian army, and I've been funding my battalion for 4 years. So, but I'm very happy to do it because Ukraine deserves it. And, these little things that come up, you see these right wingers, you're grifting. We don't make any money on this. We're giving money away. we get So I want to thank each and every one of you for helping out, however way you can do it, especially if you can become a paid subscriber to watch. All right, guys, thanks for coming today. I actually, as a real He-Man, got to go to Lowe's and I got to buy like 25 1x4x8s. And we are building a built-in light and putting down quarter rack on the floor.
Planks, wood planks.
Wood planks and quarter round trim on my 176-year-old house. So I'm going to be playing this old house. And you guys, and by the time we finish with this show in 6 minutes, they will probably announce the details of the so-called deal. The Iranians are saying 2 or 3 days. Trump is saying today. So we shall see about that. So thank every one of you for coming. Deal, no deal. We shall see you all tomorrow, right here this time. If you're watching this on YouTube, please follow us on YouTube. We're at 178,000 followers on YouTube. That's double the amount that I have on Substack. And, still 20% of the amount I have on YouTube, but on X/Twitter. But yes, I get my veterans discount at Lowe's. You'd be damn skippy I'd be getting my veterans discount. I'm working on this house for 17 years. I get my 10%. So anyway, I was just saying, join us on YouTube. We want to try to get to 250,000. The algorithm changes. Join us on Substack. Tell your friends and recommend us on Substack. And if we get back to that 100,000, we did lose 7,000 followers because people got bored with the war. That will change the algorithm itself. And we appreciate everything that you do. So, and for those of you who are paid subscribers and are leaving this chat, I do laugh my ass off. I go back and I read the paid subscribers. So see you all tomorrow. Take care, Watch.
Thank you. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Bye.